Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, we're talking some boxing. So the Canelo versus Kovalev fight should be coming up very soon.
Mhm.
Should have passed some gas. Sorry about that. So shout out to that. Katie Taylor, of course, won the fight as I predicted against the super lightweight lady. I knew she was going to win it because of the style that the lady brought to the table, which would not bother Katie Taylor. So I knew she was going to win that title, and she did. Kudos to her. Congratulations. Um, Talking about the topic that I have here. I see we have one viewer. Don't forget to smash that like button. And as well, you can donate to my channel via Western Union MoneyGram. You can also subscribe to my channel as well as you can share this video, comment, etc. Now, there's a criticism, and I saw Dante's Boxing Nation take it as well. A criticism by two people who are very critical of Canelo Alvarez, and they are Mexican fighters. And they are Eric Morales and Juan Manuel Marquez. Very critical of Canelo. I don't know if they're jealous, but I've seen this before. I've also seen this kind of criticism before when it happened to Floyd Mayweather. Again, the people who criticize him are his peers. Again, jealousy probably being the factor. But they accuse Canelo of facing past their prime fighters. And or fighters on the way out. I'm going to pull up Canelo's resume here. And you'll see that Canelo has fought a number of fighters at the end of their career. Good fighters, former world champions, etc. When he had the WBC silver title, super welterweight title that is, he fought Carlos Manuel Bandelamir. And if we look at Carlos Manuel Bandelamir's fights, we'd see that Carlos Manuel Bandelamir literally fought Canelo in 2010, and he retired from the sport in 2014. Basically, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more fights, and then he retired. Canelo fought him at the end of his career, his boxing career. He was past his prime, for sure, when Canelo fought him and beat him. Carlos Baldomir having 71 fights. And like I said before, he was in his 8th to last fight when Canelo faced him. All right, so it was at the end of his career. He had lost a number of people and he had faded and so on. He wasn't Carlos Baldomir. He also faced Alfonso Gomez. Alfonso Gomez was also at the end of his career when Canelo faced him in 2011. Alfonso Gomez fought Canelo. Then he fought Sean Porter. Canelo was at the time the WBC super welterweight champion. Gomez being a contender. Canelo beat him, stopped him. Then Sean Porter faced him after, the upcoming Sean Porter. And he faced Sean Porter for the WBO, NABO welterweight title and lost as well. And retired from boxing for 2 years and then came back in 2014, 2015, won his 2 fights against Yoshihiro Kamagai and Ed Paredes. But basically, Canelo faced him in his 4th to last fight. Then there's Kermit Cintron, former WBC, former, I believe, IBF welterweight champion. Okay? Let me just make sure I got my verification. He was the former IBF welterweight champion and the former WBO. No. He fought for the WBO, but he lost it. Antonio Margarito was the WBO champion. Sorry, my bad. Former IBF welterweight world champion in 2007. And he faced Canelo. He was a far cry from that. It was in 2011, November 26th. Canelo faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In his 11th to last fight. And Kermit Cintron had 49 fights. So, again, he faced Kermit Cintron past his prime at the end of his career. Shane Mosley. Canelo faced Shane Mosley, and these are all facts. Okay? These are all facts. I'm not trying to rationalize right now. We're actually pulling facts from BoxRec. Shane Mosley had 61 fights. He fought Canelo. He retired from the sport in 2016. Canelo faced him in 2012. Canelo faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th to last fight of his career. So again, Canelo faced the legend Shane Mosley at the end of his career. This is a fact. Shane Mosley was also coming off of a loss to Manny Pacquiao, a draw to Sergio Mora, and he lost to Floyd Mayweather. So that you must bear in mind. Okay. He also faced Floyd Mayweather, 2013. Mayweather having 50 fights. Canelo faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th to last fight. If you exclude Conor McGregor, 5th to last fight of his career. 6th to last fight of his 50-fight career. These are facts. Canelo also faced the younger James Kirkland. James Kirkland's career is not over, so I can't really talk, but Canelo's faced him also in the latter half of his career. So far, Ken Kirkland is going to face Jas Phillips in this month, the 9th of this month, which is next week. Going to face Jas Phillips. But as of present, Canelo recently faced him in 2015. And that was his 3rd to last fight to the current fight that he'll be having. And so far, James Kirkland has had 35 bouts. Canelo faced Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto had 47 fights in his career. Canelo faced him in 2015. And, well, AKI TV, I'm going to talk about this right now. I'm talking facts right now, though. I got a couple facts to say about this topic. You'll be interested because it's some information that it's going to be interesting to all of us. He faced Miguel Cotto in his 3rd to last fight of his career. Miguel Cotto had 47 fights. 47 fights. And Canelo faced him in his 3rd to last fight. These are facts. Okay? He also faced... Okay, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I can't include because his career is going on. Gennady Golovkin, his career is still going on, but I'm still going to talk about it. Even though his career is not over, so I can't say anything until Gennady Golovkin's career is over. But nonetheless, Gennady Golovkin, 42 bouts, and Canelo faced him very recently in his 3rd to last fight, as well as his 5th to last fight. So whether you like it or not, Gennady Golovkin, I don't know how many fights he has with DAZN, but this is the latter half of Gennady Golovkin's career, because he has had 42 fights, And Canelo's made. Of course, Gennady Golovkin is a world champion right now, and Miguel Cotto did pick up a world champion title, but that's not the point. The fact is, he's meeting the legend Gennady Golovkin at the end of his career. These are facts. These are not things we can dispute. And Sergey Kovalev, his career is not over yet as well. Sergey Kovalev has had 34 fights. Okay. 38 fights, sorry. 34 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. And he's facing Canelo. And this is the last fight, the most recent fight he's had of all those fights. Okay? Also bear in mind that Sergey Kovalev is 36 years of age. These are facts. We cannot change. Gennady Golovkin is currently 37 years of age. Miguel Cotto when Canelo faced Miguel Cotto was born in 1980. Canelo faced him in 2015, which means Miguel Cotto was 35 years of age. When Canelo faced Floyd Mayweather, okay, just hold on a second. When he faced Floyd Mayweather was, let's see here. Floyd was born in, I believe, 1977. All right. Faced him in 2013. So we're looking at 36 years of age. Okay. And he faced Shane Mosley. Oh, that was in 2012. Okay, hold on a second. Shane Mosley would have been up there. He was born in 1971. He faced Shane Mosley in what? What time did he face Shane Mosley? He faced Shane Mosley in 2012. So what did I say? 1971. Jesus Christ. So Mosley was 2012. He was 40. What's that? Let's see, that would be 19. 19 would be 2000, and then 19 and 12. 19 and 12. 19 and 12. What is 19 and 12? I don't know. Mosley would have been 39, I think. 39 years of age. 19 and 12. 20 and 12 would be 30. The fuck? 20. What? Something's wrong. 29 and 12. There you go. 29 and 12. There you go. 29 and 12. Right. So Mosley would be 41. Mosley was a freaking 41 years of age. Woo! Yeah. Okay. Kermit Cintron, when he faced Kermit Cintron was, I don't think he was that old, maybe 30 something. He was born 1979. Right? 1979. So when Canelo faced him in 2011, it's 21 and 11. It was 32. But Cintron was still past it. He had tapered off, but he was still a contender. So to be fair, he was still contending, but still he was past it because he had gotten beaten up and all that. But anyway, whatever. And Alfonso Gomez, well, I mean, let's just go with Carlos Baldomir. Carlos Baldomir was, God knows how old he was. He started boxing late anyway. Let's see. Carlos Baldomir was born in 1971. So I think he was, and he faced him, when did he face? Canelo faced him in 2010. So 1971. 71, that's 29. and 10:39. Carlos Baldomir was 39 years of age. Okay, so woo! So you see why they accused Canelo, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, say that Canelo, he's facing all these guys, but they're past their prime. He's facing legends of the sport, but they're past their prime. Now, those are facts. They're true. And they said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather as well. But let's pull up Floyd Mayweather. And I'm going to show you what it looked like with Floyd Mayweather so you guys will get an idea. Because I don't like when people are not consistent in their accusations. They said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather. And by the way, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez are the people who said this. Julio Cesar Chavez did not say that about Canelo. But nonetheless, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something because these are facts I'm about to show you. Not my opinion. Not my opinion. Okay? Floyd Mayweather Jr., he won his first WBC super featherweight, his first world title. He faced who? Who did Floyd face? Genaro Hernandez, right? The great Genaro Hernandez. When Floyd faced Genaro Hernandez, did Genaro Hernandez fight after that? The answer is no. Floyd faced Genaro Hernandez in the last fight of Genaro Hernandez's career. Genaro Hernandez retired from the sport of boxing. In fact, he retired in the fight. His brother threw in the towel in 1998. Okay? Floyd Mayweather faced a guy past his prime. These are facts. Faced a guy in the last fight of his career. These are facts. Genaro Hernandez was how old? Let's see. He was born in 1966. When Floyd beat him, it was 1998. 66, take away 98, gives us 32. He was 32 years of age. He had 41 fights. All right, his career spanned from 1984 to 1998, a career of 14 years. All right? Basically, Canelo has 14 years as well. He's a veteran of the sport. Now, even though Chicanito was 32 years of age, he had a lot of wear and tear on him. Not from big fights or anything, but just the fact that he'd been performing at a high level for a very long time. Been super featherweight champion, the man of the division for years. Dominating. Nonetheless, the point is, and this is a fact, Floyd faced him in his very last fight. And that's how he won his first world title. Let's keep it going. Floyd defended his title against Gregorio Vargas. Okay? Gregorio Vargas. Gregorio Vargas was once a world champion. Once upon a time. He faced Floyd in his 8th to last fight of his career. Gregorio Vargas had 55 fights. Okay? Floyd faced him at the end of his career. These are facts. I'm going to show you guys something so that you will understand certain things. That's all I'm going to say. Floyd Mayweather also faced Arturo Gatti, the legend. He faced Arturo Gatti in the 4th to last fight of Arturo Gatti's career. Arturo Gatti had 49 fights in his career. He faced Arturo Gatti at the end of Arturo Gatti's career. Arturo Gatti fought from 1991 to 2007. He was 37 years of age when he died. When Floyd faced him in 2005, he was 33. Okay? He was doing very, very well. Don't get me wrong. He had a string of wins and all of that. But the fact is, he faced him at the end of his career. These are facts. Would you say it was at the end of his prime or was it at his prime? That's debatable. But what we do know, faced him at the end of his career. Let's keep it moving. Sean Bay Mitchell. Sean Bay Mitchell. Floyd Mayweather faced Sean Bay Mitchell in his third to last fight of his career. Third to last fight of his career. Sean Bay Mitchell had 63 fights. Okay? 63 fights. It was a mismatch, of course. And Sean Bay Mitchell was born in 1970. When he faced Floyd Mayweather, it was 2005. So Sean Bay Mitchell was 35 years of age. Way past his prime, by the way. But he did do well to get the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight. He beat I believe it was an undefeated fighter. And it was a fighter with 9-1-1, Chris Smith, who was thought to be able to beat him. He would have dusted him. He came off the Custazoo knockout. And he did well against this kid. He was supposed to just be a stepping stone. And he ended up beating the kid. That's how he landed the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight. Nonetheless, he was knocked out the year before by Costazoo. Also something worth noting. Carlos Manuel Baldomir. Floyd faced Carlos Baldomir in 2006. As we already know, Carlos Baldomir had 71 fights. Now, his most meaningful fight started happening very late in his career. He started boxing very late in his career. He was born in 1971. Okay? When Floyd faced him in 2006, he was 35 years of age already. Okay? This guy was performing. He's a late bloomer and all of that. His career started from 1993 and went to 2014. So he was a pretty old guy when he started fighting. He was 22 years of age. Anyway, well, he wasn't that old, but I don't think he had. Well, anyway. So Tata, as his name is called, fought Floyd in 2006. That was his, let's see, if Canelo was his 8th fight, 8th to last fight, I guess Floyd's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Floyd was the 13th to last fight. Okay? He was definitely ancient when Saul Canelo Alvarez faced him. But he was on the upswing when he faced Floyd. But the point is, Floyd faced him also at the end of his career. So that I can go through some other names. Let me go through it a little bit faster. So the other people are Oscar De La Hoya. Obviously, Floyd faced him at the end of his career. Actually, Floyd faced him in his second to last fight or third to last fight. I think it was third to last fight, right? Because after that, he fought Steve Forbes and then he fought Manny Pacquiao, his very last fight, right? So let's just scrape through some of these guys. Juan Manuel Marquez. Floyd also faced Juan Manuel Marquez at the end of his career. As we all know, Marquez had 64 fights. And Floyd faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth to last fight. Okay? Right? But again, Marquez really got the big fights later on in his career. But that's besides the point. We're just talking the facts. He faced Marquez at the end of his career, right? We're talking facts, so we have to stay with the facts. Okay. Shane Mosley. If Canelo faced Shane Mosley in his sixth to last fight, Floyd faced him in his ninth to last fight of his career, and Mosley had 61 fights. Okay, so he faced Mosley also at the end of his career. He faced Cotto also at the end of his career. If Canelo had him in the third to last fight, Floyd had him in the 8th to last fight. All right. I have a point behind this. I really do. So stick with me. Bear with me. I know it's taking a long time, but I just want to bring out the facts first. Okay. Okay. Right. So that was Cotto. Pacquiao's career is not over. Marcos Maidana's career is over. Of course, Floyd faced Marcos Maidana in his last two fights of his career, though Marcos Maidana is not that old. And he also faced Manny Pacquiao at the end of his career as well. All right. Andre Berto also he faced at the end of his career. Now, my point is they accuse Floyd of fighting these guys past their prime or at the end of their careers or whatever. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the accusation that they give against Canelo is the same accusation they do against Floyd. I want you guys to listen to me carefully. There's always a catch-22 to facing an opponent after they've achieved so much in their career. And one of the things people keep on forgetting is that when you have an opponent that has built a reputation for themselves with their career, that's the best time to face them, especially if they're still at the top of their game. And you'll find that almost all young fighters, Lomachenko is an old dude, okay? He don't got much more in the game, all right? Everybody's chasing Lomachenko, right? He's built a name for himself. When you build a name for yourself in boxing, people start targeting you. That's why Canelo's a veteran of the sport already. He's 14 years in the sport. Everybody's gunning for Canelo. Canelo's got a hell of a resume. That's why they're gunning for him. And so what you'll find is that Canelo started gunning for the older guys and their resumes. And then he's going to fight the younger guys after because they'll be around in the sport for a while, which is a very sensible thing to do. Floyd, and usually you only get these opportunities later on. So for instance, I'm going to show you Juan Manuel Marquez and Eric Morales' resumes, and they did the same thing that Canelo is doing. So, you know, a lot of these guys critique because they're jealous, okay? They're speaking facts, no doubt about it, but it's a part of boxing. Oscar De La Hoya faced Julio Cesar Chavez at the end of Chavez's career. Come on. Costa Zoo made a name off of Chavez. He faced him at the end of his career, okay? To be able to become a legend, there are two ways. Build your own legendary status, okay? Or beat a legend. Beat them, okay? And these opportunities come but once in a lifetime. When the legend is, whether they're at the end of their career or whatever, we call it passing the torch. For example, when you think of Terrible Terry Norris, he built his legacy off of beating legends at the end of their careers. All right? Some of these legends were still very good. They were still very good, and of course, they were a lot smarter, much more craftier. And the other thing that people don't understand is when you beat veteran fighters, okay, you also learn things from them by facing them. So you can learn from the legends by facing them in the ring. And Canelo's been able to learn a lot from Shane Mosley, Quintana, Baldomir, Floyd, not just Floyd, right? Cotto, you know, he's picked up different things by facing all these guys in the ring. All right. So Eric Morales is a critique of Canelo on this note, and so is Juan Manuel Marquez. I want to show you guys something. And I'm going to show you from the great Julio Cesar Chavez that he did the same thing. Okay? They all do the same thing. Okay? Let's start with Juan Manuel Marquez. You'll be surprised how many of these names you will see. That's just what it is. The great Juan Manuel Marquez. Dinamita. Dynamite. And he's a great guy, and he's a great fighter. And some of these guys, they're not even. Some of these names aren't even great names, and these dudes be doing this. Anyway, let's get into it. Dinamita. So let's go from. Shall we go from when he's a world champion? Because before you're a world champion, you're expected to face, guys that may be faded, learn a thing or two from former champions and stuff. So let's just go when he became a world champion. He became a world champion. Let's see when he became a world champion. Yes, he faced Manuel Medina for the vacant IBF World Featherweight title. Okay, Manuel Medina. All right, this is when he became world champion. Okay, Manuel Medina had 84 fights. 84 fights. Of those 84 fights, he faced Juan Manuel Marquez in 2003, February the 1st. In his, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th to last fight. 11th to last fight of his career. Okay? That's what happens. Okay? So he faced him at the end of his career. Coming off a loss to Johnny Tapia. So that's how Juan Manuel Marquez won his first championship, beating an older guy. All right? Like Floyd. Canelo fought a younger guy for a vacant title. Marquez fought an older guy for a vacant title who was at the end of his career, right? Let me see what you guys are saying in the comment section before I move on. Akai TV says, I agree with Morales, fam. You should. Akai TV said, I'm listening. Aki TV says, he's not facing Charlo and Andre. Not yet. Aki TV says, who he fought for his first world title. Well, that's what we were just talking about. Floyd fought Gennaro Hernandez, who was at the end of his game. Whereas Canelo fought Matthew Hatton, who was a younger guy. Still in his prime. See? He wasn't a name. So that's where Floyd shines above him. Like this guy here, Manuel Medina. Marcus fought an older fighter. Now, there's always a trade-off when you face older fighters because they have craft, they have more skill, they have more smarts because they have to have that. Now, they may not have the vigor like a younger fighter, but if they can slow down the fight, they can control it a bit, they could actually fight better than a younger fighter would with a lot of zeal and vigor and zest. So, all of these things you have to think about, all the experience these older fighters have. All right, so you want to fight an older fighter, but the key that a lot of people do not understand is it's not so much about being in your prime or not in your prime, because Floyd was out of his prime a long time ago. Okay, he came out of his prime after the Arturo Gatti fight. He wasn't in his prime anymore. He had to make adjustments. He fought Oscar De La Hoya out of his prime. For those people who don't know that, Floyd's hands, his body was broken down, his shoulders were bad, his hands were bad, and he still beat Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of people think that Floyd was in his prime because Floyd was able to maintain this high standard. But Floyd was not in his prime since 2007, since 2006, since 2005. After that Gatti fight, he was, that's it. His body was breaking down. He was on a downhill slope from since then. But because he took care of his body, because he fought smart, because he changed up his game, because he reinvented himself, called himself Money Mayweather, because he did these things, instead of calling himself Pretty Boy Floyd. If he called himself Pretty Boy Floyd, then he got to look pretty. Then he got to be, that name Pretty. On Sugar and Pretty means vengeance, violence. I still look sweet. I look good, but I'm a killer. Floyd changed it from being a killer to focusing on, I'm the money man. You know what I'm saying? So he changed up the game a bit. Still gave a little bit of entertainment, but Floyd knew, I'm facing tougher guys. I'm facing bigger guys. I can't be I can't be wasting punches. I got to be clinical. I got to be, I'm not going to get guys out of there just like that because he's the bigger, stronger guys, and I got bad hands. So he had to be smart. And boy, was that guy smart, okay? And the point behind it is, Oscar De La Hoya. Now, Oscar De La Hoya wasn't that old, but Floyd undeniably faced him in his fourth to last fight of his career. This is a fact. There's nothing we can do about that. That's a fact. Now, the part that's not the fact is that Oscar De La Hoya was healthy. Oscar De La Hoya had all the advantages. Okay? Oscar De La Hoya came off of one of his great wins. He looked like Oscar De La Hoya. He beat a guy that was trash talking him. Looked like he was trying to beat him up in the ring, and Oscar De La Hoya destroyed that dude. Okay? And if Oscar De La Hoya could destroy that dude, he was supposed to go in there and destroy Floyd Mayweather, a smaller guy. It did not happen. And Oscar had all the weight advantages, all the size advantages, all the glove advantages, the weight class. He had everything. And he still couldn't beat Floyd. Okay? That's not, that is, all those things I just talked about were facts. The part that was not fact is that, you know, I want to talk about how Oscar, you know, was, he was well, he was healthy. All of that's a fact, actually. He was healthy, he was well. Now, if a fight is not well, is not healthy, that's a problem. Okay? That's more a problem than their age. Because if a fighter is smart enough, they can reinvent themselves. Bernard Hopkins did it. Floyd did it. Mike McCallum did it. Okay? Mike McCallum adjusted himself, adapted himself, kept his defense on point, and he fought to the age of fucking 40. And he was light heavyweight champion at 40 years of age. Okay? Manny Pacquiao's doing it. So, for people to say age, or they've been through a lot of wars, well, if they've been through a lot of wars, that means they didn't have good defense. It's a totally different story. And that means they're coming into a fight not healthy. You see, health is more important to me than talking about numbers and age. Are they healthy going into the fight? You know, Shane Mosley mentally already was beaten by Floyd. That beating was a bad beating. It was a mental and physical beating. And he never really fully recovered from that, right? And on top of that, Shane Mosley had shoulder problems and groin problems. And I don't know how much he came into fights with all kinds of compromises like that. And so Shane Mosley was not only a wear and tear fighter because he was always in these wars and brawls, but also Shane Mosley was past his prime in the sense that he had injuries. He kept on going into with nagging bad injuries, and his mentality, his mind was kind of beaten down. He still put on a good performance against Canelo, but the point is, he wasn't going to win that fight. He was losing the fight still, but he was putting on a, you know, people were surprised at his performance. So, my point being anyway, that what do you really look at with a fighter? Like, take for instance, Sergey Kovalev. After I saw that weight, after I saw the weigh-in, I knew this fight definitely going down the tubes. This is not going the distance, right? I knew this definitely because the dude can't even make the weight properly. He should have gone on that scale and made that weight easy, like he always did. He did not. And then on top of that, now he got a weight clause, a rehydration clause. That fucked him up a little bit more. And of course, he's gonna take rest, come in this afternoon rested and stuff, and he's gonna try and do his best. But it is what it is. Canelo's collecting legends right now. He's collecting legends, and then after that, he's gonna fight the younger guys, hopefully. Because he has disappointed me by not facing Demetrius Andrade. But my point anyway is this. That Juan Manuel Marquez faced Manuel Medina for the IBF World Featherweight title at the end of Manuel Medina's career. And as I said before, he had 84 fights, and he faced him in the 11th to last fight, I believe, of his career. I think I said that. The other thing is Manuel Medina was born in 1971. When Marquez faced him, where am I? It was in 2003. Okay, so he was 32 years of age when Marquez faced him, with a lot of action. He had a lot of action. Okay, so you know that's one. Here's another one. We got a bunch of them. Victor Apollo. Victor Apollo, wait a minute, where is that? Derek Gainer. You guys know Derek Gainer. So Marquez faced Derek Gainer. Derek Gainer was what was he? he was the WBA World Featherweight Champion. Okay, and Marquez faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th to last fight of his career. They were unified. Okay, Marquez was the IBF Featherweight Champion. Derek Gainer was the WBA Super Featherweight Champion. Okay, Derek Gainer had 51 fights. All right. So Marquez faced him at the end of his career as well. Even though Derek Gainer, I think he stopped boxing after the Marquez fight, took 2 years off, came back, fought for 2 years, and then took off 3 years, and then came back and fought for 2 years. Okay. But the point is, it was the 6th to last fight of his career, and he had 51 fights. So once again, Marquez faced him at the end of his career. All right. He was doing well, though. Don't get it twisted. He was doing well. But the point is, he faced him at the end of his career. And he also faced a gentleman named Victor Polo, who, I think he faced Victor Polo at the very last fight of his career. He wasn't a legend or anything. He was just, fighting for a championship. And I believe, yes, the very last fight of his career was against Juan Manuel Marquez. All right. Victor Polo had 45 fights. And he was born in 1970. Faced Marquez in 2005. He was 35 years of age. Okay? He was a Colombian. He then went on to face, where is he? Rocky Juarez. Y'all know Rocky Juarez at super featherweight, right? He was defending his super featherweight championship. And where am I? Is it Rocky Juarez? Not Rocky Juarez. Sorry, my bad. No. Rocky Juarez. No, it's not Rocky Juarez. Sorry, my bad. Joel Casimiro. Sorry. Joel Casimiro. Everybody gave Marquez credit for beating Joel Casimiro. But Marquez faced Joel Casimiro in his 5th to last fight of his career. Joel Casimiro, of course, having 45 fights. So in his 40th fight of his career, Juan Manuel Marquez faced him. Marquez got all the credit for that shit, but knocking out him. But at the time, this is in 2008. At the time, what's his name? Joel Casimiro was 37 years of age. 37 years of age. All right? But he got credit for it. Of course, the last fight that Marquez had was against Mike Alvarado. And that was also at the end of Mike Alvarado's career. I don't know if Mike Alvarado's still fighting. It looks like he's still fighting, so I will not include that. Mike Alvarado is currently 39 years of age. So as you can see, there are some others, but I'm gonna leave those out. As you can see, Marquez has fought a lot of guys past their prime. There are others. I just want to mention them because they're not marquee names. Defending for championship defenses. There are other guys. Okay? You look at Eric Morales, you get the same thing. Okay? You get the same thing with Eric Morales. Those of you who don't know, let me pull up Eric Morales' profile real quick. Eric El Terrible Morales. Yeah, there you go. There's one right there. There's a couple of them, actually. All right, so Eric Morales became WBC champion facing a gentleman named Daniel Zaragoza. All right. Oops. Became super bantamweight champion facing Daniel Zaragoza. And he beat Daniel Zaragoza in the very last fight of his career. It sounds familiar, does it? Floyd did it. Marquez did it. And here comes El Terrible. Eric Morales did the very same thing. Okay? Need I go on? Need I go on with Eric Morales? Because there's a couple of them. All right? Daniel Zaragoza had 66 fights. So he fought him in the 66th fight. And Zaragoza was born in 1957. And Eric Morales faced him in 1997, which means he was 40 years old when Eric Morales beat him. All right. So when Eric Morales talks about how this guy's facing all these guys past their prime, and you know, Juan Marquez is saying, but you guys did the same thing. You guys did the same thing. You did. Isn't that a little bit hypocritical? I think. Me thinks so. Now, one of the things they will say is, well, they faced a lot of in their prime fighters. Right. So did Canelo. Think about it. Canelo did. And he's still facing them. He faced Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara, right? Daniel Jacobs. Didn't he? He did. Then you got the minor ones, which I don't even want to talk about. He did. And he will face more of them because that's all that's left now. So, all of these fighters have done this. Okay? Let's keep it moving. With Eric Morales. Jose Luis Bueno. He was a contender for Eric Morales' super bantamweight title. Eric Morales has faced him in his very last fight of his career in 1998. Very last fight of his career. He went up to super bantamweight. He had lost a whole set of fights before. He was a great super flyweight champion. But then he moved up from super flyweight to bantamweight, and then from bantamweight to super bantamweight. Eric Morales knocked him out. And his career spanned from 1987 to 1998, 11 years. He was born in 1969. So, do the math. He was 28. He was 29. He was 29 when Eric Morales. I think I have it right. He was 29 when Eric Morales. Is he 29? Yes. He was 29 when Eric Morales ended his career. 29. Only 29 years of age. If I'm correct. Yes. Okay. But it was the last fight of his career. Junior Jones. Junior Jones. He had 56 fights. 56 fights. Faced Eric Morales in his 10th to last fight. Yeah. Junior Jones. Reynate Jamili. He was a Filipino boxer. "51 bouts. Faced Eric Morales in his 8th to last fight. 8th to last fight of his career. I can go on and on and on. Mike Juarez, Kevin Kelly, the great Kevin Kelly fight. Kevin Kelly had 72 fights in his career. Faced Eric Morales in his Where is Eric Morales? He's somewhere around here. There it is. He faced Eric Morales in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to last fight. 72 fights. That's kind of borderline. I mean, he did lose to a couple of guys. Eric Morales really gave him a loss, but that's borderline. But still, you know, 15 to last fight is still, you know, that's he's not out of his prime per se, you know. Even though he got beat by a couple guys, he was on the downswing for sure. Guti Espadas Jr. Need I go on? Do you guys get what I'm saying? 53 bouts. Eric Morales faced him in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. His 9th to last fight. Okay? I mean, I can go on and on and on here. Paulie Ayala. Eric Morales faced him in his 3rd to last fight. The great Paulie Ayala. You have Eddie Croft. I wouldn't say Jesus Chavez, even though Jesus Chavez, Eric Morales beat him. I won't say Jesus Chavez, even though he did face him at the end of his career as well. Jesus Chavez. So my point anyway is this, because I think my point has been made. I can also talk about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'm just going to dip into that really quick. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., sorry. Let's see here. Where is he? I don't even know what that is. There you go. Julio Cesar Chavez. Nobody's immune from this shit. Nobody. Okay? Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. There's a lot I can say about this shit, but... Oh! I'm gonna ignore all of that. So he had some defenses here at super featherweight. I'm just gonna go with some of the basic ones that are, you know, the great. Everybody knows Rafael Limon, great champion. Okay. All right. So Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. faced Rafael Limon in 1988. In his 11th to last fight, he had 78 fights. Okay. So he faced him at the end of his career. There's a lot of them. Jose Luis Ramirez. Faced Jose Luis Ramirez. I'm just talking legends now. I can use the common guys. There's a lot of them too. But so he faced Jose Luis Ramirez in the 4th to last fight of his career. And Ramirez had 111 fights. You get what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because we can go through. If you're gonna do that to Canelo, then you got to do it to the legends. This is supposedly the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, right? And he was doing this shit. You know? Okay. Got Jaime Balboa. You got Oh, let's not talk about Marty Jakubarski. I don't really want to talk about him. Mike Powell and so on and so on and so on. Tony the Tiger Lopez and so on. I think Lopez faced him twice though. Well, I could be wrong. Yeah. Then don't forget Oscar De La Hoya faced him also at the end of his career and so on. All right. The point being, anyway, Verdell Smith and so on. Yeah. There's a number of them here, but I'm not going to go through them. I just for the interest of time, I'm not going to go through all of them. Okay. So the point anyway I'm making is that, you know, it don't make no sense trying to make that accusation on Canelo. If you're going to be that way, then you've got to carry it right across the board. You have to. And facts are facts. All right? Facts are facts. Marquez made his career off of the last fight of a legendary fighter. So did Floyd. So did Eric Morales. All right? And they fought multiple people at the end of their careers. Okay? Now, what does this mean? All this means, like I try to explain to people, is not to be negative or anything, but that these guys, they did it because the other fighters had built a legacy. It's like Keith Thurman wanted to face Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because Floyd had built a legacy for himself, and Keith wanted to be associated with that. Keith got to face Manny Pacquiao. When did Keith Thurman face him? At the end of his fucking career. Right? It's not going to be at the beginning of his fucking career. Okay? He already built a legacy for himself. So that's what Canelo's chasing after right now. That's why he wanted the Triple G fight. That's why he wanted the Sergey Kovalev fight. Okay, good. Now that we got that out of the way, now let's get to reality. Just because you're chasing after legacy and these guys doesn't mean that you're getting the best fights. Right? Think about this. Floyd faced the number one super featherweight in his division, which is Genaro Hernandez. Nobody thought anybody could beat Genaro Hernandez at super featherweight. Gotcha. Juan Manuel Marquez faced for a vacant title a experienced guy, and it was the last fight of his career. Then Eric Morales faced a champion, a great champion, a guy that was undisputably the best in his weight class, and beat him. But it was the last fight of that guy's career. Sergey Kovalev is also viewed as a number one light heavyweight in the world. However, us in boxing who know boxing know he can be beaten by other super heavyweights. What shit I'm talking about? Light heavyweights in the world. In fact, we believe that Arthur Bidibiev is better than Sergey Kovalev, and probably Bivol too. We would have to see the matchup. I think he's the weakest link. But his title is number one light heavyweight in the world because of all the work he done and the people he has faced. All right? So at the end of the day, that's what Canelo's going after. And he saw that this is a fight that he could win. It's a good, as they say, it's a good opponent for him. Just like how Roy Jones saw that it was a good opponent for him in John Ruiz. This is basically the synopsis of the thing. And Canelo's trying to get all of the past greats, as much of them as he can, on his resume. Pretty much like how Oscar De La Hoya tried to do that. Oscar De La Hoya had a number of them, actually. Oscar De La Hoya had the Puerto Rican fighter, Hector Camacho, Julio Cesar Chavez. He got a bunch of them, okay, in the early part of his career. And then later on in his career, he faced all the top dogs. And I think that's the same strategy that Canelo's doing right now. He's going for, early in his career, he's trying to get as many of the legends as he can under his belt. And then he has to go and face off with the top dogs and see if he can beat those guys, the younger guys. So the only thing I think is that I think I criticize him for saying that Demetrius Andrade is boring and who has he faced on his resume. That bullshit don't fly with me, okay? The motherfucker is a WBO champion. You don't become WBO champion by chance. It's not. He didn't get a hand-me-down title and that kind of shit. He fought for a vacant title that Billy Joe Saunders had to drop, okay? But he fought for it, okay? And on top of that, this motherfucker be beating everybody and showing that he's just in a different class to everybody else that he's facing. So it's about time. Now, as Demetrius Andrade can't get Canelo, this motherfucker should be looking for, not just trying to tune up and stay busy, he should be looking for a big fight. And seeing that Billy Joe Saunders slighted him like that, Jamal Charles right there trying to make that fight happen. If you can't get a Jamal Charlo fight, Derevyanchenko, get him. Because Derevyanchenko would like to have another shot at something. But this fucking, I don't even know who the contender is. I forgot what his name is. I think he begins with Smith or something. Some shit. Man, and it's calling it a mandatory. That's a fucking shit fight, man. I don't want to see those fucking fights, man. I want to see this dude against somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, get Derevyanchenko in the ring. Derevyanchenko showed he was so very good against Triple G. If you can get a Derevyanchenko in there, fight, because Derevyanchenko came across and he fought on DAZN, he wouldn't have a problem fighting on DAZN again. Dimitri Sanders should be going up against Derevyanchenko. If he can't get fucking Charlo, and Charlo's fighting another dud, these guys are fighting duds. And, the thing about it is, I can't really trash them. I wouldn't trash them, but I'm tired of seeing guys fight duds. Some people go to the fight, back in the day, in the 80s, fighting duds was not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Chavez used to fight duds and get knockouts and shit. And people used to be excited. But people are not so naive these days. You know what I mean? And we're more critical of fighters. We want them to have quality fights. That's why when people talk about throwback fighters and they fought 100 fights in a year or some shit like that, I'm just exaggerating, but I mean, they fought a lot of fights in a year. I said, what's the quality of opposition, though, they were facing? Here they were fighting duds or dudes that just came off the street or cab drivers. They could have fought 3 or 4 or 5 of them in a day. It was not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just that much better than them. But if you're fighting people who are quality opposition, just like how we pushing for Canelo to face quality opposition, I think, I've said it before and I will say it again. I think that Sergey Kovalev is a specialized cherry pick, just like Andre Berto was a specialized cherry pick, just like Conor McGregor was a specialized cherry pick. Well, no. Let me roll that back a little bit. Conor McGregor was a totally different story. He was a debutante. that wasn't really supposed to be a boxing match or a fight. That was just an event. We don't even really think about that too much. Now, again, the throwback fighters. Everybody want to talk about this guy who was 71-0 and 59-0, but they was fighting debutantes, back in the day. And nowadays, they criticize Floyd, but then what are you doing for the past greats? You giving them a pass? How this motherfucker Chavez could be facing debutantes? I mean, I know it wasn't for a title shot. Floyd wasn't fighting for a title shot either. But, well, what the fuck? You giving him, in his career, in the middle of his fucking career as a champion, he's a champion in between he's fighting debutantes, or is it a stay busy fight? Okay then, Floyd's having a stay busy fight. So you can't be giving Chavez a pass. Oh, he's the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. But then you go in on Floyd, or you giving Chavez a pass when Canelo say, I think I'm going to fight a UFC. No, let me just make it abundantly clear. I'm not cool with that. But let me fight a UFC fighter in the ring, trying to pull a Floyd Mayweather on everybody. I'm not cool with that shit. But you giving Chavez a pass? You giving, you want to go to town on Floyd for facing an exhibition fight? He's retired. He can do exhibition fights. Retired boxers did it all the time. I mean, it's this kind of inconsistency I don't like. Okay, that's the only thing with me. I like to be consistent. If you're gonna say this fighter X, is doing shit, then you also gotta deal with fighter Y that you esteem so fucking highly. Okay. Everybody want to say Sugar Ray Robinson's the greatest boxer of all time. But hold up. In between fights, he was fighting some duds, man. He was fighting some fucking duds. All right? Y'all was excited. Oh, yeah, sure. Man, if you see Robinson knock this dude out, but the dude didn't have no defense. The dude was slow as fuck. Let's be real. All right? The dude was not on the top tier level. Okay? So he got him out in the first round. He's supposed to do that. I'm just saying. Now, it's entertaining. Especially if you don't know much. Oh man, it's so much to say. But my point anyway is this. I'm not trying to be narcissistic or anything. I'm just saying, if you're going to criticize Canelo for facing these so-called past their prime fighters, all right, then you got to criticize Floyd, the same guy who's accusing him, Eric Morales. You got to also accuse Manuel Marquez, and you got to accuse Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And let's not forget Chavez Jr. was fighting a bum after every fight. He was fighting 2 or 3 bums. Okay, Canelo, at least he's fighting bums too. Rocky Fielding, okay, let me not diss Rocky Fielding, but he basically fighting a glorified stay busy fight. You say, okay, let me take this paper title from this dude. This is gonna be my rest fight. Okay, then I'm gonna fight a hard fight, Danny Jacobs. Then I'm gonna fight an easy fight, Sergey Kovalev. Then I'm going to fight a hard fight. You get what I'm saying? Canelo been doing this all the time. After the Floyd fight, he fought an easy fight. What did he fight? Alfredo Angulo. And after that, he faced Araceli Lara. Then after that, he faced James Kirkland. Then after that, he faced, I can't remember who he faced after that. Miguel Cotto, I think. After Kirkland, I think he faced Cotto. Then after Cotto, he faced an easy fight. Liam Walsh. Liam, what was it? Liam Williams? I can't remember what his name was. I'm sorry, I'm disrespecting the world champion, but I really can't give a fuck. Then he went up and faced Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which was an easy fight. And then he faced Gennady Golovkin, right? Faced him twice. So he had two easy fights, then he had two hard fights. Then he had an easy fight with Rocky Fielding. Then he had a hard fight with Danny Jacobs. Then he's going to have an easy fight here with Sergey Kovalev. That's how he do it. You see? He doing his stay busy. He's doing like Julio Cesar Chavez, except he's doing glorified easy fights. You know what I'm saying? He took it into the modern era and he said, you know what, I'm gonna do a stay busy fight. Because Kovalev's a stay busy fight. I don't know about y'all, but it's a stay busy fight. In my opinion. Okay? So I'm just saying that, and I criticize Canelo for it. I don't like this fight. I didn't want it. I wanted to see Andre fight. I still criticize him. And he looks like he was running from Andre. As far as I'm concerned, he was like, I don't want nothing to do with Andre. I don't want to mention his name around me. And I think people should just put pressure on him to face Demetrius Andre. All right. I don't know if he'll go back down to 160. But if he goes to 168, he better face Billy Joe Saunders. Shit. One of them. He got to face one of those guys. Okay? Because they are, I'll say it, I'll say it again. They're significantly better fighters than Sergey Kovalev. Significantly. Defensively, offensively, all around they're better fighters than Sergey Kovalev. And just because they don't have punching power, a lot of people, I don't know why people, I don't understand people, but just because they don't have punching power like Kovalev doesn't mean that they are not dangerous. Okay? Because, Demetrius Andre will light your ass up if you're not on point. He'll light you up like yesterday. Okay? And same thing with Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders have less dimension, I think, than Demetrius Andre. I think Demetrius Andre has more dimension. And Demetrius Andre hadn't lost a fight since God knows when in the amateurs. Okay? So Canelo don't want to mess with that, it seems, right now. He wanted to have his easy fight. Whereas Kovalev had to go, he's going 2 back-to-back hard fights. I find that fucked up, if you ask me. But anyway, he signed the contract, so I can't say nothing. But that's why I criticize Canelo. And I criticize them for not releasing the information about the rehydration clause to everybody. They kept it hidden. And I seriously criticize them for that. I don't think it's right. I think that, Buddy McGirt should at least know about this shit. Why didn't Sergey Kovalev tell him about it? Did he tell him about it? I don't know. But I didn't like it because that definitely puts a nail in the coffin, kind of like. And Kovalev don't really got a chance. You know what I'm saying? He don't really got that chance he's supposed to have in this fight to really do something. He's going to come in there. He's not going to be 100% at all. He's not even going to be 70%. You know what I'm saying? So they really trying to guarantee this fucking knockout, boy. And I blame Canelo. I blame his team. I blame Golden Boy. I blame them all. And I'm a Canelo fan. And I blame them for that. I just have to be real. You can't be that. Just like how he got caught with clenbuterol, it's just the same way how you can kill a fighter in the ring by putting these stipulations, and then his trainer don't know shit, and his team don't know shit about it. Only him and his managers or whatever. They're supposed to fucking tell Buddy McGirt so Buddy McGirt know what to do. Man, that's fucked up. Period. Point blank, period. That's fucked up. In my opinion, I criticize him for that. And I have all rights to criticize him for that. And he should never do that again. If you're going to do rehydration, let everybody know you're doing rehydration. Let them criticize you and shit, but let everybody know this shit. Man, that's messed up. In my personal opinion. But yeah, I don't like when people talk about, this guy, he faced this guy past his prime, but the guy's performing. Oh, well, he got a couple fights left in him. Shut, man, please. Now, I'm not saying Kovalev performed. Totally different story. Kovalev did not perform, in my opinion. He's been definitely being degraded, okay? He's surviving on the skin of his teeth right now. He about to get tutted over, okay? In my opinion, Kovalev got a foot out the door, okay? And it's not because of age particularly. It's because people found out his vulnerabilities. They know what to do now to handle him, mostly. And in this case, in this fucking fight, it looks like they're talking about he's going to be big as hell. I think he's going to be sluggish when he goes into that fight because of the strain on his body to just make weight, because he's coming off of another tough fight where he had injuries, because, he's got the vulnerabilities to his body that they're going to be trying to work on. This is just not cool. In any kind of way, shape, or form, he's going to be having an uphill battle just to be healthy for this fight. And it's sad, really, because he should have a fair shake. And the playing field is not level for this. So It is what it is, though. He signed the contract. He got to go through with it. Bruh, when you done with this fight, collect that paycheck and ride off into the sunset. Or if you got two more fights, make sure they're easy fights. And fuck the zone if they don't want to give you easy fights. It's your turn to get paydays, buddy. It's your turn. You know, you getting royally screwed right now. That's my personal opinion. Um, but you know, and Kovalev being the older guy, it is what it is, though. Young guys make their names off of older guys. Terry Norris made his name off of Sugar Ray Leonard. This dude made his name off of Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, that's the way it has been. Jeff Horn made his name off of Manny Pacquiao. That was a fucked up situation. Jeff Horn had all the options. He was calling all the shots, and you would swear Manny Pacquiao ain't the A side. Bobby Arum had rigged that fucking shit. I was so pissed about that too. And I wasn't a Pacquiao fan back then, but I looked at it as like, man, they fucked him over royally. And that was for Pacquiao to get out of his contract, I guess. But, man, they fucked over Pacquiao royally with that fight. You could see Bobby Arum really wanted Jeff Horn to win so that he could, use him to boost Terrence Crawford. That shit was just so dirty, man. It was just dirty. And Pacquiao just went for it because he was like, man, I got to get out of this fucking deal. So Pacquiao just went for it, That's Pacquiao for you. He free now. He could call the shots. Yeah, so it is what it is, though. But, yeah, when it comes to this accusation that these guys are facing past their prime fighters, ask yourself these questions. How are these fighters performing? Shane Mosley was definitely done. Carlos Quintana was definitely done. The other kid I talked about, he was definitely done, too. Carlos Baldomero definitely was at the end of this road, right? Those fights I agree with. 100%. Floyd Mayweather obviously was not definitely done. Canelo wanted to face Floyd. He faced him, and he whitewashed him, right? But Floyd was at the end of his career. That's just a fact. 2. Canelo faced, after Floyd, he faced the other guy at the end of his career, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto came off a beaten, he became middleweight champion of the world. He beat Daniel Gill. He faced Canelo and he had a great showing. So no matter what people say about this guy was at the end of his career, he definitely was performing very well when Canelo faced him. Fucking Gennady Golovkin. I hear people saying, oh, they waited till Gennady Golovkin got tired and old. No, don't say that shit. Gennady Golovkin had just fought Danny Jacobs, I think it was. Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs put on a hell of a performance on Gennady Golovkin. Beat his ass up. Then Golovkin went and faced Dominic fucking Wade, I think it was, before Canelo. I can always go and look. And stopped his ass. I hate when people talk about Gennady Golovkin was past his prime, because that's bullshit. Gennady Golovkin. Hold on a second. See, I don't really like Gennady Golovkin. To be honest with you guys, I don't like him. I don't like him. I'll be honest with you. That's an overhyped motherfucker. Y'all should have said he was past his prime when he faced what's his name? Kell Brook. When he faced Kell Brook, you should have said he was past his prime. Alright? Okay, so he faced Danny Jacobs. And Danny Jacobs, I mean, he put a drumming on. Y'all tripping if y'all thought Danny Jacobs lost that fight. He won that fight. Close. It was a close fight, but he won that fight. I understand because people said Gennady Golovkin dropped him. That's why Gennady Golovkin got the win. But to be honest with you, Danny Jacobs beat the shit out of Gennady Golovkin in that fight. I remember when he tagged him up in the 9th, and he said, yeah, bring it. He really banged up. Man, Danny Jacobs put a beating on Gennady Golovkin. Anyways, after that, Saul Canelo Alvarez faced him, right? Now, this is in 2017. All right? Step up in competition. Kell Brook did a number on Gennady Golovkin, first of all, in 2016. Gennady Golovkin said, oh, I just put my face there to get hit. Bullshit. All right? Before that, Willie Monroe had a good round against Gennady Golovkin, was tagging him up. Y'all remember that in 2015? Martin Murray went 11 rounds with him. You remember that? Adama Usumanu. No, it's not him. It wasn't him. Gabriel Rosado was hanging in with him, even though Kasim Uma gave him went 8 rounds with him, gave him all kinds of hell, right? So I'm just saying, it's not that Gennady Golovkin was fading or any kind of shit like that. He was facing better competition because Kasim Uma way back in 2011 was giving him a good fight. Was giving him a good ass fight. Okay, Kasim Uma is not on the level of a Danny Jacobs or Canelo Alvarez. So when Danny Jacobs came in, he beat the shit out of him. Kell Brook was beating the shit out of him, but Kell Brook was just too small. Right? Saw Canelo Alvarez, then went on to outbox his ass, and then turned around in the second fight after he had knocked out Vanes Masvidal, and he walked his ass down. And you know why Canelo walked his ass down? Because the clenbuterol thing came out. And Gennady Golovkin say, oh, Canelo's so dirty and shit, and Canelo gets suspended and shit. Canelo got mad. Canelo said, fuck this shit. Talking about, you gonna fight Mexican style. Like, yeah, Canelo was like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna walk your ass down for the entire fight. And so the smaller Canelo be bullying Triple G, and they're all talking about he was boxing so nice. Get the fuck out of here. He tried to push back Canelo with the jab, and then he tried to just like what he did there with Lemieux, he tried to beat on Canelo. Canelo didn't have none of that shit. Canelo didn't have none of that shit. He beat his ass up. Man, he beat that ass. Man, he beat that ass. I'm so happy. I'm glad to say this, by the way. Because it's fucking overhyped. Okay? Period. Wasn't even number one pound for pound fighter in the world. Come on, man. Let's be real. Alright? Anyways, back to what I was saying. Right? He beat that ass. And then they're saying Gennady Golovkin is getting old and stuff. He needed Steve Rolls fight. Man, he got that ass beat. And then Derevyanchenko is finishing the job. And whoever comes next to Triple G, they're gonna put some damage on him. Cause you can only be as tough. You can only be tough for so long. Talking about Triple G outbox Derevyanchenko. Get the fuck out of here. He did not outbox shit. I'm just saying. Yo, I don't like Triple G. I'm sorry. I just Troy Source says, can't argue with facts. Those dudes are all old as hell. That Nello fought, shaking my damn head. Like I said before, those are facts, but he not the only person to do that, okay? And remember, I told you Eric Morales fought a 40-year-old dude for the world championship. So I'm just saying. Troy Soares, you're not comparing the age difference between Floyd and his opponents and Canelo and his opponents. There's a bigger age difference between Canelo and his opponents, I believe. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Doesn't matter. What matters is Canelo's a younger guy, obviously, so there's going to be a bigger age difference. And that's impressive that Canelo even has that kind of experience, right? But here's the thing. The point is, if I face a guy at the end of his career, but the guy has been performing at the top tier level, right? It's different to a guy who has faded, and in his last couple of fights, he's looked suspect, and you can see he's fading. All right? So, for instance, Canelo versus Triple G, right? People saying Triple G was fading. No, I don't buy that shit at all. In fact, Triple G was still supposedly in his prime. Triple G is not taking a whole set of punishment until Danny Jacobs fight. Danny Jacobs put it on his ass. Then Canelo came and he boxed him mostly, and then he put it on his ass too in the first fight, but he boxed him mostly. In the second fight, he put it on his ass. Okay. Nobody ever bullied Triple G like that. And it wasn't because Triple G is slow. Triple G was Triple G. He just faced better competition. That's the end of the story, okay? Everybody's like, Triple G, he's fading. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? He was overhyped. And now he's facing A-level opposition, and they fucking faster than him. Canelo's so much light years faster than Triple G. That's why he could just stand in front of him, walk around. He remembers Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. Hagler be looking for Sugar Ray Leonard. Look, dude, turn around. I'm behind you. He's so much faster than Triple G. Danny Jacobs was just way faster than Triple G. Throw in like 4, 5, 6 punch combinations in Triple G. Each one landing. Derevyanchenko looked faster than Triple G. He was like a buzzsaw. These guys are quicker than him. Period. All right? The competition that Triple G was facing before, Daniel Gill, he's slow as fuck. You know, them guys not on that kind of level, okay? So, it's just that Triple G hadn't faced A-level opposition. He hadn't faced elite opposition like that, and he started facing them, and that's why he looked like that. It's not that he was old or none of that shit. It's none of that shit at all. All right? He took some ass whoopings, though. He took some ass whoopings. And ass whoopings will affect you. Okay? Tough as he is. Shane Mosley took an ass whooping from Floyd. He never was the same. Triple G took 4. 4 ass whoopings. All right? He got 2 decisions that he shouldn't have gotten, and 2 went the right way. Okay? He's over fucking hyped. Period. All right? So, I do criticize Canelo for facing Kovalev. I truly believe Kovalev is compromised going into this fight. And it is what it is. I do not criticize him for facing Triple G. I do not think he was waiting out anything. I just think that he was not a middleweight. And he was trying to make negotiations with Triple G to come at a catchweight. Triple G said no. So Canelo had to vacate the WBC. He went down to 154. He proved that he was a 154 pounder by beating Liam Smith. And then he went back up in weight, faced Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at a catchweight to get acclimatized to middleweight. And then he came down and he faced Triple G. Okay? That's what he basically did. He wasn't trying to wait out shit like people were saying. He wasn't trying to wait out anything. Okay? That's like the same bullshit they said about Floyd was waiting out Pacquiao so you could get older. Well, Pacquiao's 40 and he just beat Keith Thurman. So what does that mean? Okay? Triple G just beat Derevyanchenko, even though I don't think he did. And he's got the IBF crown. What does that mean? You know? I'm just saying. I don't know. People say that, you know, Floyd faced Cotto at the end of his career. And the same thing with Canelo. But Cotto goes and wins a WBO title after that. I'm just saying. Right? The shit don't make no sense. Now, if Sergey Kovalev gets beaten by Canelo, then Kovalev comes back and wins his WBO belt after Canelo vacates or whatever happens. Then what are you gonna say about Sergey Kovalev? Was he really he was washed up and shit? Was it really that? Or was it the conditions under which Canelo stipulated for Sergey Kovalev being unfavorable to Kovalev? See what I'm saying? Because Cotto, you know, remember Pacquiao beat Cotto, and then Margarito, I'm gonna call him Margarito because that's what he is. Margarito used plaster of Paris in his gloves, and that's how he beat Cotto. Cotto, the 2 times Cotto lost, it was unfavorable to Cotto. One of them was purely illegal, and the other one was, while legal, was a fucking catchweight. Okay? So Cotto got, and after that, Cotto was like, fuck this. Never gonna happen to me again. He pulled Floyd up to super welterweight, you know what I'm saying? And he fought on his terms. Okay, he lost that fight. Residuals from the loss of that fight trickled into the Austin Trout fight. He got with Freddie Rose, pulled it back together. You know, won his other fight, and then he went up, won another fight, and then he went up and faced Sergio Martinez, who now he put the treatment on Martinez. Martinez got bad legs. Cotto wouldn't even give him no leg brace, none of that shit. Cotto be dictating like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Cotto turned the tides. Cotto said, my turn. I am the A side. It's terrible, but it is what it is. So he dictated what he wanted, and that's how he beat Martinez. Martinez ain't got no legs under him. Let's be honest. He didn't have no legs under him. Cotto beat him, yeah. He looked spectacular beating him, but Martinez ain't got no legs under him. And let's be real now. Jamal Charlo, when he beat that other guy from Argentina, he didn't have no legs under him either. Okay? But Charlo looked spectacular. But come on, man. I'm just saying. You know? I forgot what his name is. He likes Sergio Martinez, too. You know, Charlo knocked down the guy 2-3 times because he didn't have no fucking legs. He was using knee braces. And Charlo wouldn't allow him to have a nice knee brace either. Just like what Cotto did. But you see, y'all guys only pick and choose, you know, but listen, man, a lot of these guys be doing all kinds of things, okay? Because they're the A side. So they make their demands. Now, you can go with it, have the fight, make some money, or you can't. And what I liked about Sergio Martinez was that motherfucker was never gonna quit. He stayed in there and he stayed in the fight. He had no fucking legs, but he was just going. You know, and you gotta have respect for that shit. Troy Source says, you know that Manny is younger than Floyd, which mean what? That had nothing to do with the facts though. Floyd faced Manny at the end of Manny's career. That's just what it is. I mean, that's a fact. Now, is it a bad thing? No. No. That's what I'm trying to say. The guys was building up their legacy. You know, Pacquiao had certain experiences which made him much more defensively responsible. And, you know, with the Marquez loss and all of that. And, you know, it made him a better fighter. So, that's what I'm trying to say. Just because a guy faces a guy at the end of his career doesn't necessarily mean, and Pacquiao has some sensational wins as well. He beat Timothy Bradley, which I didn't think. I thought Timothy Bradley would have beat him a second time, but didn't. You know, my point anyway is this, that Manny Pacquiao and Bradley was supposed to have a style, something like Floyd, they were saying. And the point is, when Floyd faced Pacquiao was the best time. You know, if he had faced him in 2011, Pacquiao being wild as hell as he was, would probably have gotten knocked out by Floyd, you know, instead of Marquez. And then if Floyd knocked out Pacquiao, we ain't got nothing no more to look forward to. Floyd, it's just Floyd all the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing that Pacquiao didn't get knocked out by Floyd in 2010, so that we could have this fight later on. Now they can say, oh, if it was 2010 with a different Pacquiao, they could say that shit now. You know how people are with excuses, right? But if Floyd faced Pacquiao now, he's gonna get his ass beat for sure. But the point is that my point is this. My point is that, you know, yeah, Floyd was older than Pacquiao. Floyd was older than Canelo, right? He still beat them. So there's no excuse about age. That's the whole point, right? Just telling me that the guy's this age, what? Oh, he didn't have enough wear and tear on his body. Oh, you saying that he didn't have good defense? What are you really saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're saying he didn't have good defense, then he probably wasn't as good a fighter as you thought he was. All right? So, at the end of the day, excuses. You have to look at the guy's performances. All right? Sergey Kovalev is a suspect. All right? He on and off. All right? He's a true champion, but he on and off. And he's on his last legs, obviously. Okay? That we all realize. He don't come in. Well, he's not going to come in. You know, I was saying you'll see the best Sergey Kovalev. Fuck that. You're not going to see the best Sergey Kovalev. Not going to happen. Not with this weight clause and the fact that he couldn't make weight properly. And he doesn't look good also on the scales. Okay? You're not going to see the best Sergey Kovalev. I'm sorry. That's not happening. And that's why I cut it down to within 6 rounds, he's going to get stopped. Okay? It's what it is. But, so with this fight, the Sergey Kovalev fight, like I said before, I think it's a cherry pick fight. I think it's a shit fight. But it is what it is. It's, you know, I call it a cherry pick, but it's a high-class cherry pick, just like, you know, Floyd picked Berto. That was a cherry pick. Well, Canelo picked Sergey Kovalev, okay? It's a cherry pick. It is what it is, okay? High-class cherry pick, so I can't really say he ducking Demetrius Andrade. I want to say it so bad, but motherfuckers think that Kovalev got a chance. If people didn't think Kovalev got a chance, I could say it. Obviously, the enthusiasm for this fight is less than, say, if it was an Andre fight, but DAZN, they're not smart enough to understand that. I don't give a fuck about what they say about the Mexican fans. Mexican fans know boxing. And I'm telling you, the Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo fight would have been better. All right? It would have been much better. They would have earned more money and everything. Okay? It is what it is. You don't get the Kovalev fight. I think it's a shit fight, though. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, you know, I'm just saying that, yeah, Floyd was older than Pacquiao, and that all proves the point that age is not everything. Boxing Monster says, Boo Boo has failed to fight anyone worth a damn to build and demand a fight at Canelo. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Same with Charlo. Funny how Crawford hasn't fought anyone to demand a Spence fight, but Charlo deserves Canelo. Listen, I'm going to say this again. Crawford has been saying that Errol Spence is afraid to face him, which is bullshit. Okay? You see, it's what Crawford's saying. You can't be saying to Errol Spence, you can't be telling Errol Spence, you know, pull up your panties and stuff and come face me. And then you go And your next fucking fight, Errol Spence be fighting real dudes. Canelo's not fighting a real dude, okay? He's not fighting a real dude. Errol Spence fought Sean Porter, okay? He fucking fought Sean Porter, okay? He fucking fought Kell Brook at welterweight, okay? Who the fuck has Crawford fought at welterweight? What the fuck did I just do? Who the fuck? Did I just make you a moderator? What the fuck? Remove moderator? What the fuck are you gonna do? What the fuck? Remove? Oh my god. Ah, you fucking. Okay, right. Yeah. So, he's the one making all this ruckus, right? Now, I get it. He's trying to promote a fight between Errol Spence. Then fucking Bob Arum says, there ain't no real welterweights out there except for Errol Spence. It's that kind of shit talk why I go in on Crawford. Okay? Why I go in on Bob Arum. Alright? You're going to disrespect all the other welterweights in the division that are top tier. And you're targeting one welterweight. Okay? And this is why I said, fucking, you look at it, what's the next fight? And I'm also criticizing Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo for their present fights. I've been consistent. First of all, Crawford, he gonna face, what's the dude name? Russian dude or something? Kavaliauskas or some shit like that? He gonna face Kavaliauskas, right? It judges Kavaliauskas, okay? Who the fuck is that? I mean, who the fuck is that? I mean, I'm criticizing Demetrius Andrade right now too. Who the fuck is he facing? And who the fuck is Jamal Charlo facing? They won't face each other, but they talking about Canelo. You know, this is the thing I'm talking about. Now, the difference is, all right, I'm gonna go in on this because you know y'all tripping, man. The difference is that Canelo said that this fucking year he wants all the belts. That's what he said. This year. Errol Spence didn't say that. Errol Spence said in 2020, you know, first I'm going to go after Sean Porter. Then I'm going after the winner of Thurman and Pacquiao. Then I'm going to go after Crawford. He mapped out what he was going to do. Okay? And then he did what he said. He went after Sean Porter. He said it was going to be easy work. It turned out not to be easy work. Okay? And then he was going to go after Pacquiao or Crawford. And he's still saying that to this day. And we know that the Crawford fight is going to happen in 2020 because Bob Arum said he talked to Al Heyman, and it's going to happen next year. Okay? So that shit is going to happen. All right? So when Crawford starts talking this shit, Crawford. When Crawford starts talking this shit, now we want, okay, Ninja, you talking that talk, so who you going to face now? You about it, so who you going to face now? Right? Kavaliauskas. The fuck? You got all these people. You got Kell Brook. You got Sergio Lipinets, okay, who's a free agent. You got motherfucking, you know, and he just came off a good win. I mean, you got some names out there, and your fucking ass gonna do just Kavaliauskas. Same fucking shit with Jamal Charlo, okay? Jamal Charlo, you could get Derevchenko, you know, you could get, you know, Maciej Sulenki, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you gonna face who? Who you gonna face? Some 154 pounder? Get the fuck out of here. And then Demetrius Andrade, he gonna face some Smith dude or something. I don't even know who the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? That's some fuck up. That's some fuckery right there. You know what I'm saying? So I go in on everybody. Okay, I go in on everybody on it's that mandatories. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right, y'all can make better fights than that, and you don't have to face your mandatory immediately. Okay, you can have a voluntary. You know, so I don't want to hear that shit. GGG was taught a lesson in Mexican style, but HBO said it was a draw. Boxing Monster says GGG's fighting his mandatory. Of course. That motherfucker ain't gonna face nobody but mandatories from here on in. He has not been mandated. Oh my Floyd drained Pacquiao of PEDs. That's how he won. Dog Cotto landed 1 million power punches and could stop Margarito. Yeah, does plaster gloves also decrease Cotto's power? I mean, Margarito, man. Margarito. Boxing Monster says Crawford, king of 147. That's so funny. Boxing Monster, Crawford versus Spence could have been made already, but Heyman is protecting him just like Wilder's being protected. Wilder's had one good opponent and the rest are bumps. Nah, man, I don't agree with that. You look at right now, Crawford be facing a top ranked fighter, right? He could easily be facing somebody else. You have Jesse Vargas in the zone. You have Kell Brook. You have, like I said, Sergio Lipinets, all right? He's not facing none of those guys. He's facing in-house. If Bob Arum could do fucking in-house shit, then so can the PBC, okay? And if they got champions in the PBC, why the fuck would I go across and face and have difficulty making a fight with fucking ass Bob Arum when I got champions right across by me? Of course I'm going to deal with the PBC fighters first. All right? Errol Spence ain't ducking shit. He's been mentioning Crawford all the time. The PBC's mentioning Crawford again. Crawford's shocked that they're mentioning him. And they're going to continue to mention Crawford because they want that fight, Errol Spence versus Crawford. All right? All this other bullshit about money and that, I don't give a fuck about it. I'm a fan. I just want to see the fight. All right? So, Crawford just faced Sean Porter. I thought Sean Porter beat him, but nonetheless, he got the strap. He got 2 more straps to get. One from Pacquiao, one from Crawford. However he wants to do it. Whether if Pacquiao don't want to give it up, then it's Crawford. He going after Crawford. Okay? And he should be back in business very soon in 2020. So they just sorting out his face, getting his face healed up and shit. And back at it. Brook ducked the Crawford fight. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Brook's been saying he wanted the Crawford fight. That report was a fake one. It was fake news circulated by Top Rank. Just like how they have fake news circulating about Sean Porter. As if Sean Porter don't want to face Crawford. But Sean Porter should face Crawford next. And Sean Porter's father said, if we got to get a Crawford fight, we're going to get the Crawford fight. So that's a good fight also for Crawford. Crawford needs to step to the smoke, man. It's about time. He's good size now. He a welterweight. Stop stepping to the smoke. And don't tell me no fucking shit about Sean Porter's my friend. I don't want to hear that shit. I can give a fuck. If he's your friend, then he'll give you a paycheck. And you'll give him a paycheck. Both of y'all get paid. So stop with the bullshit and let's get it on. Same thing with these other guys. Motherfucking Charlo talking like he don't want to face Andre. And Andre talking like he don't want to face Charlo. Charlo talking about Andre boring and shit. And his style is beatable. But then motherfucker get in the ring and fight him. Motherfucker get in the ring and fight him. You know what I'm saying? Charlo can't be doing that. Man, fuck Charlo, man. You step in the ring and face him. Y'all want to face Canelo, but y'all don't want to face each other. Why you don't want to face each other? And you think you can beat Canelo if you can't even beat each other? How the fuck that works? Dog, you have all the excuses. PBC needs to put you on the payroll. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I ain't got no excuses for PBC. Like I said, I'm a realist. What the fuck? But okay, this is the inconsistency with you guys. Bob Arum could have fucking Terrence Crawford face a fucking bum in Gavaliauskas because they're both top ranked. So Bob Arum can fight in-house as much as he wants. But the PBC fighters can't fight in-house? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And he even facing the world champion. Man, stop with the bullshit, man. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit. Talking about I on PBC roster. What the fuck you talking about, man? Errol Spence be facing world champions. Now, the next world champion is either Pacquiao or Terrence Crawford. One of them got to step up to the plate. One of them. Right? But Terrence Crawford fights some bum-ass fighters right now. Really bum-ass fighters. Like, Demetrius Andrade at least fighting top 10 fighters. Who the fuck is Gavaliauskas? Who the fuck is he? No, seriously, who the fuck is he? Maciej Solecki is a very good fighter, okay? We saw him against Danny Jacobs, okay? That was the last fighter that Demetrius Andrade faced, okay? The other two, but one of them, also the other fighter, he faced Billy Joe Saunders. and lost. The other guy, the African dude, he a fucking bum. Okay? Period. Sorry to call him a bum, but I'm gonna call him a bum for now. I know they're not bums. They can beat my ass. They've been at the, but they're bums, and they're not in Demetrius Andre category. Solanke got a name, and what the other guy name? And what the fuck? Who the other guy said? The dude that faced Billy Joe Saunders, right? Them two, at least they faced somebody, right? Solanke had a close fight with Demetrius Andre. Who the fuck Terrence Crawford faced? Jeff Horn. Okay, Jeff Horn, we can give him a pass. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. He did. Okay? Cool. Who else? Who else? Now, seriously, who else? Jose Benavidez supposedly beat Mauricio Herrera. We know he lost that fight. Okay? Who the fuck is Mauricio Herrera? He's not a world champion, nothing like that. Good fighter, but he's not a world champion. Should have beat Danny Garcia, but that's another story for another day. He's not a world champion. So what the fuck, why are we talking about this shit? And Benavidez was injured. Then he goes and he faces Amir Khan. Now, Amir Khan has a great resume. Great resume. That's super lightweight. Great. Phenomenal. But Amir Khan, we criticize Amir Khan for the very same thing we criticize Terrence Crawford. Avoided all the real fighters and fought B-level fighters. And he still got a better resume than Terrence Crawford. And the American that Terrence Crawford goes and faces is an American that just recently got knocked out by Canelo. Just got dropped by Sammy Vasquez. I mean, how the fuck do we make sense of that? Am I supposed to be applauding Terrence Crawford? Hold on a second. Okay. Let me give him a round of applause. Let me do what you want me to do. Good job, Terrence Crawford. Good job. Yes, you deserve that Errol Spence fight. You deserve it. Errol Spence said he wants to unify all the titles. You should be next. So there you go. You got what you want. And on top of that, Errol, I hope you face Terrence Crawford next. Your next fight be Terrence Crawford. There you go. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you're going to get. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with Errol facing Terrence Crawford next. And that's what you got to understand. I don't have a problem with it. His resume, though, looks like shit. Demetrius Andre resume better than his resume. Fucking Jamal Charlo's resume is better than his resume. Okay? He faced a washed up Amir Khan. Okay? He's washed up. Okay? That's why he facing featherweights and shit in Saudi Arabia. Okay? It's some whack ass shit. He faced a fucking featherweight in Saudi Arabia instead of facing a welterweight. You gotta be kidding me, man. Man, I don't know what to say, because that's some crazy ass shit right there. That you would even, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to make of that shit. I don't know how to make of that shit. I really don't. Okay, this is Americana running from Kell Brook. He don't want to face Kell Brook. Okay, he been running. He said, you know what, I'm gonna get my ass knocked out by Terrence Crawford. And he couldn't even knock out Amir Khan. He dropped him, but he couldn't knock him out. He couldn't stop him. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about y'all, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Would he have stopped him eventually? I'm sure he would have, but he didn't stop him. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Y'all be kissing ass too much, man. You be kissing ass too much. That's what's happening. All right? The Demetrius Andre fight was because Demetrius Andre put him in the position to have that. Canelo had all the belts. He had one more belt to get. One more belt to get. One more. Okay? Terrence Crawford just started getting fucking belts. He just started doing unification. But y'all want to force the action. Yeah, Terrence Crawford's next. Yeah, Terrence Crawford. He told you what the fuck he was going to do next. Y'all don't want to hear him, right? Y'all don't want to hear it. He's ducking there. He's ducking. He showed up in Terrence Crawford's face. He showed up to the event Terrence Crawford was at. And he started talking to Terrence Crawford. Okay? Something Canelo ain't going to ever do with Demetrius Andre. He not even trying to be near the Demetrius fucking Andrade. And y'all see that. He not even trying to have Demetrius Andrade in his mouth. Errol Spence been talking Terrence Crawford in his mouth from the get-go. He ain't afraid of no fucking Terrence Crawford. Everybody at welterweight in PBC ain't saying shit about Terrence Crawford. But Errol Spence be talking Terrence Crawford all the time. Right? He been talking Terrence Crawford all the time. But y'all believe Bob Arum. Yeah, Errol Spence don't want that smoke. Yeah, Errol Spence want to duck Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford told you Errol Spence ain't afraid to face him. And he ready to face him. Then he goes on and says, well, you know, it's the promoters and shit. Which is bullshit. Al Heyman don't have a problem having that fight. Al Heyman don't have a problem having that fight. I'm telling you who have a problem. Fucking ass Bob Arum. You think I playing when I say fuck Bob Arum? You see, there's certain people, it's not personally that I don't like them. It's just the way how they conduct themselves makes me not like that. And the way how Bob Arum does business, I don't like it. The way how Triple G is overhyped, I don't like it. Okay? And then the way how Triple G's acting on top of that, you know, that motherfucker know he lost that fight to Derevyanchenko. He knows he lost that fight. Okay? So I'm just saying that it's that kind of shit. And when I hear people saying, oh, Triple G beat Canelo in the first fight, it pisses me off. Oh, Adelaide Bird, she had a crazy scorecard. What the fuck y'all know about boxing? You know? And I have people who agree with me who are professionals. Jeff Mayweather thought it was 9-3 as well. He thought Adelaide's scorecard was on point. I thought the same thing. I am not wrong. But people got Triple G's dick so far up their ass that they cannot see the reality of the situation. He was missing punches. Canelo had him missing for days. Canelo was drumming his body. Canelo landed more power shots because Canelo was on the inside. He didn't need no fucking jab to get to the inside. Oh, Gennady Golovkin outjobbed Canelo. Yeah. Who was getting tagged up in the whole fight? That's what I want to ask. Whose face looked like it was messed up at the end of the fight? Whose face looked like he didn't even have a fight? I mean, come on, man. So that's why I don't like Triple G. He's overhyped. And then on top of that, I don't like Bob Arum. I don't like how he does business. I don't like it. I don't like nothing that they do. Okay? And it's Bob Arum that spread out that rumor Errol Spence is ducking Terrence Crawford. And y'all actually buy into that bullshit. You buy into the bullshit. It's a lie. Errol Spence, and y'all trying to hustle Errol Spence. Man, the motherfucker gonna do what he want to do. But then, since y'all want the Terrence Crawford fight next, hopefully, I pray God, Errol Spence do that next. All right, and then probably get the Manny Pacquiao fight last if Manny Pacquiao still want to duke it out with him. You know what I'm saying? I hope so, because I'm tired of this bullshit. I mean, I can't believe y'all guys, and y'all be kissing Terrence Crawford ass like I don't even understand. The motherfucker ain't done nothing, but you're kissing his ass. He pound for pound number one doing what? Motherfucker, what do you do? What do you do to be pound for pound number one? But y'all trashing Canelo. Y'all trashing Manny Pacquiao. Y'all know fucking full well this motherfucker ain't done nothing in the last 4 years. Well, when did he go up to? No, the last 2 years. He hasn't done shit in the last 2 years. Came up to welterweight in 2017, I think it was. He ain't done shit. He been at welterweight for 2 fucking years. Playing Amir Khan. He facing scrubs. Okay? 2 years, 3 fights. Scrubs. Come on, man. You can't live off being an undisputed champion at 140. And the division back then was weak as fuck. There were no Reggie Prograises and Josh Taylors there. And Jose Ramirez's and Maurice Hooker's. I mean, Maurice Hooker was a weak boxer anyway, but the point is, they weren't there. Okay? So, come on, man. Let's be real about this shit. Okay? kudos to him on being undisputed, but he ain't faced no fucking Sean Porter. He ain't faced no Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia beat him in the amateurs. He ain't faced no Udenis Ugas, and Udenis Ugas beat him in the amateurs. He ain't faced no Keith Thurman. He ain't faced no Errol Spence. He ain't faced no Manny Pacquiao. Okay? He hasn't faced them guys. He ain't even faced the Sergey Lipinets. He ain't faced no Jeff C. Vargas. All right, these are real dudes. Jesse Vargas never been stopped. He been dropped, but he never been stopped. He's a good boxer, and he's at welterweight right now. Okay, so and he ain't faced no Kell Brook. Okay, those are names. Those are names, man. Y'all can't be pumping this guy. Y'all hyping this motherfucker up. Talking about he pound for pound number one. We're not saying that about Demetrius Andrade. They're saying, some of them saying he's the best middleweight in the middleweight division. I don't believe that either. Okay? But I do know that Demetrius Andrade had put himself in a position. He was the last piece in the puzzle to be undisputed. And Canelo ran from that shit. And they on the zone. Both of them on the zone. Both of them on the zone. There was no barrier to make that fight happen. All right? At least, with this thing, you're talking about Bob Arum with Top Rank. Terrence Crawford got a deal with ESPN. You got a fucking Fox where Errol Spence got a deal with them. Errol Spence is with PBC. That never stopped. Bob Arum likes you to sign some contract with Top Rank to have more than one fight on your contract so you could fight, his fighters. That's how he do his thing. But at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, Errol Spence is going to still face Sean Porter. Errol Spence is going to still face Terrence Crawford. He going to face it. Guaranteed. Okay? We're not as guaranteed that Canelo's going to face Demetrius Andrade at 160. He may face him at 168, but we're not guaranteed he's going to face him at 160. Because this motherfucker had just... Listen, let me tell you how bad it was. This motherfucker, since after the Danny Jacobs fight, okay, the IBF had their stipulations. All he had to do was say, I want to do a unification with Demetrius Andrade. And the IBF would never have stripped him. Okay? They would have still done the fuckery with the WBC, would have still done the fuckery with the franchise championship belt, where, again, Canelo's get an opportunity to avoid Jamal Charlo. I got to call it a duck, because, it's a glorified cherry pick with Kovalov. But, he was allowed to not face his mandatory, which he inherited from Triple G, but nonetheless. And then on top of that, you didn't have to face that mandatory. You didn't have to face the IBF if you went and faced Demetrius Andrade. So you would have had all your belts. It would have taken precedence over all of your mandatories. You wouldn't have had to face Derevyanchenko. You wouldn't have had to face Jamal Charlo. You'd have just gone straight to Demetrius Andrade. And this motherfucker couldn't do that. All right, this is not the same thing as Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. It's not. Errol Spence didn't have mandatory. Errol Spence actually unified. He actually unified with Sean Porter. He might have had mandatories, but he unified. And then he's probably trying to look for another unification. But that Danny Garcia shit was going to be so fucking whack. To be honest with you, I don't want to see no fucking Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. I hope he goes and faces Terrence Crawford instead of Danny Garcia. I hope they make that fucking fight happen. And then afterwards, I hope he finishes off with Manny Pacquiao. And then after that, he can face Danny Garcia or any one of them other guys. But right now, his goal should be to unify. Become undisputed. Not no fucking whack-ass Danny Garcia shit that come up from left field. I hate boxing for that. Right now, just do the fights that really matter. And then afterwards, if these dudes want to have a bigger piece of the pie, the dude going to be undisputed champion. Now you got an undisputed champion. Now you want to face that dude. Fuck ass Danny Garcia want to just go in and fuck up everything. And delay the fight much longer. Boxing Monster said, dog, don't disrespect the white boxing Jewish god, Bob Arum. Boxing Monster says, Crawford, the new boxing boogeyman. Bogeyman. Yeah, I think you meant boogeyman. Or maybe you meant bogeyman. I don't know which one. All I know is, man, Terrence Crawford's a nice guy and everything and all of that. But listen, man, it just pisses me off, though. It pisses me off. You know, I still got. Do I have Errol Spence beating Terrence Crawford? I don't know. But what I do know is Errol Spence need to go and face Terrence Crawford. Okay? Let's see that fucking fight. Because I'm tired of hearing some lame ass shit and people worshiping a certain fighter like Terrence Crawford. And he ain't doing shit, but he's pound for pound number one. This is the kind of bullshit that you fans do. He pound for pound number one, but he ain't done shit. What has he done lately? For 2 fucking years, he ain't done shit. Okay? He hasn't done shit for 2 years. Okay? But he's a fucking boogeyman. He's a pound for pound number one. He's all this shit with the guy. So what? A guy doesn't have to do shit now to become great? He just got to be great in your eyes? You just had to perceive he's great? Come on, man. I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand you guys, man. It's almost 2 hours in. What time is it? 9 o'clock? I still need to eat something, but I gotta drink some water first. Yeah. So anyway, this is what I had to say about the accusation about Canelo facing these guys. Again, I do not defend Canelo on the clenbuterol issue. But for people to deny that he's pound for pound number one or Manny Pacquiao, y'all had to be smoking some fucking crack. You know, I mean, the facts are right in front of your fucking face, man. All right? So, don't be smoking crack. Okay? Crack cocaine is not good for you. You know, they are what they are. The only guy that supersedes Canelo right now is Manny Pacquiao. If you want to say he's pound for pound number one or Canelo's pound for pound number one, fine. But the level of opposition these guys have been facing and the fights they've had, they deserve it. The other guys don't. Alright? Enough with the bullshit. We have to stop with the bullshit. Alright? Neither Lomachenko nor Terrence Crawford have claimed to pound for pound number one status. Neither of them. Alright? Where is when Floyd became pound for pound number one in the world, he beat Arturo Gatti. He had faced Jose Luis Castillo twice. He had faced Chavez. He had faced Diego fucking Corrales. And he had faced Genaro Hernandez. Okay? Terrence Crawford ain't got 2 of them names on his list. Not even 2. His only sole really great win is Yorkers Gamboa, and he got a Ricky Burns on his list. That's it. That's even sort of comparable to these guys. I just said Jesus fucking Chavez, Diego Corrales, Genaro Hernandez, Jose Luis Castillo, and fucking Arturo Gatti. Alright? Here's what it is. Alright? So, if you really want to talk about that pound for pound number one status and all this shit, you gotta do some shit, man. Okay? Lomachenko got a better claim to pound for pound number one status. But the problem with that is he's competing against guys like Canelo and Pacquiao. And he cannot compete against them guys. He just can't. They have been facing much better opposition than he has faced. Point blank, period. Okay? So, them two could never be pound for pound number one or pound for pound number two. And you all say, well, the skills. First of all, Lomachenko is a limited fighter. He's like Usyk, Vorzdek. Okay? Them is the same kind of fighter. Mid-range. Footwork. That's it. Not much upper body movement. Not much change in the levels. Not much skill on the inside or the outside. Alright? They're all the same. Even Bevo. Some degree BWF. Kolov's a little bit different. He's an outboxer. Alright? So, at the end of the day, he's limited. Now people realizing Gennady Golovkin wasn't as hyped as they thought. Things that I knew a long time ago. And they're going to realize now that what I've been saying all along about Usyk and Vorzdek and Lomachenko it's going to come to pass as well. I already know how to beat Lomachenko. All right. So, that's what it is. Okay. All right. I'm out of here, man, peoples. Be blessed. Take a good night. Enjoy the boxing. Peace. I'm out of here. I'm going to tell you all, follow up on the predictions later on tonight. Have a good one.